Good evening, everyone. I'm Danielle Jones, a member of the Technology Committee with the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and supporting me this evening is Lena Ellis. We will be providing technical assistance during our webinar. I would like to make everyone aware that all participants are currently in listen-only mode. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please type your questions in the chat box or in the comments section on the Facebook live stream. I will now turn it over to your host for the evening, Ms. Demetria Williams.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining the Candidates Forum hosted by the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, as well as the NAACP-Missouri City, Texas, and Vicinity Chapter. I will now turn it over to the chair of the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter Social Action Committee, Judge Tamicia Glover, for opening remarks, and followed by Judge Glover will be Dr. Keith Holliday of the NAACP.
Thank you. And just as everyone else, I want to welcome you on behalf of the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter to tonight's virtual Meet the Candidates. As stated, my name is Tamicia Glover, and I serve as the chair of the Social Action Committee. Our committee is charged with engaging the community in the political process and making sure that the community is knowledgeable about social and political issues. Not only is it important for us to vote every election and the entire ballot, it's equally important to be an informed voter. And so that's why we're introducing the candidates for the March 1st primary election to you all tonight. Delta Sigma Theta is a nonpartisan organization, and we do not endorse any particular political party or candidate. And in that vein, tonight's invitation was extended to all candidates on a Fort Bend County ballot. I would like to say thank you to the candidates who accepted our invitation and agreed to participate. And without you, tonight's event would not be possible. I would also like to say thank you to our partners for tonight's event, the NAACP, Missouri City, and Vicinity branch. Thank you for your continued support in this and all of our past candidate events. At this time, I would like to give the NAACP an opportunity to welcome you as well. Dr. Holliday?
Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, welcome from Missouri City and Vicinity Chapter of the NAACP. Madam Linda Coleman, President. I come here from the Political Action Committee. We're delighted to be here with Delta Sigma Theta on this candidate forum tonight. And thank you so much. I see some familiar faces out there. Thank you so much for attending and being part of this important event. And as we know in Texas, this is a crucial year for elections with everything that's going on with voter rights and voter suppression. So I wish all the candidates luck. All of us collectively need to get out the vote and really encourage people to express their right to vote. And God bless to all the candidates tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for your warm welcomes, Judge Glover and Dr. Holliday. Now I will turn it over to our moderator, Charianne Thompson, member of the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter Social Action Committee, for further instructions for the candidates.
Good evening, and again, welcome to tonight's event to meet the candidates of Fort Bend County. As she stated, I'm Sharon Thompson, tonight's moderator and a member of the Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Tonight's event was designed to give voters as much information about as many candidates as possible. So to accomplish that goal, the candidates will not be answering questions. Instead, each candidate will have 2 minutes to tell you who they are, what they've done, and why they hope to earn your vote. We ask that each candidate provide a way for voters to contact them, to learn more about them, and to answer questions directly from voters. Our timekeeper will be monitoring the time, and a soft chime will alert the candidates when they have 30 seconds remaining. Candidates, please listen for the soft chime so that we can comply with tonight's time constraints. 37 candidates have signed on and are prepared to give remarks tonight. They will appear in ballot order, So without further ado, I'll introduce the candidates running for state office. If I announce a candidate and the candidate is unable to come to the mic or has not yet logged on, we will move to the next candidate and hope to circle back at the end of the presentation of candidates. So without further ado, I present candidate running for state representative, Representative Ron Reynolds. Representative Reynolds, are you on? If you're on, please unmute yourself. Okay, also running for state representative, we have Daniel Lee. Mr. Lee, if you're on, please go ahead and unmute yourself. The next candidate in ballot order running for state representative is Vicinity Johnson. Ms. Johnson, are you on? If so, please unmute yourself. Also running for State Representative District 76, candidate Suleiman Leilani. If you're on, candidate Leilani, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, so I just got word that Representative Ron Reynolds is on. So before we move on to candidates for Justice Court of Appeals, welcome, Mr. Representative Reynolds. I will go ahead and yield the floor to you, sir.
Hello. I want to thank the NAACP-Missouri City Branch, which I have the pleasure and privilege of having served as a past president, and the wonderful ladies of Delta Sigma Theta, the devastating divas, for hosting and co-hosting this informative opportunity for the candidates to talk to the community and to let you know exactly what our vision and platform is. I have served as state representative now for 6 terms, and I'm seeking my 7th term. And the reason why I'm seeking re-election is because I've been a progressive voice. In fact, I am currently the president or the chair of the Texas House Progressive Caucus. I currently serve as the chair-elect vice chair of the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. I have been on the forefront of many of the things that we care about. For example, equal pay for equal work. I don't believe any man should make more for doing the same job as a woman. I'm fighting hard for criminal justice reforms. We've seen too many disparities within our criminal justice system. Access to affordable quality healthcare. I've been a champion for Medicaid expansion. It is unfathomable that Texas leads the nation in the highest percentages of uninsured. And that is unacceptable. Right now, Winter Storm Uri showed us that we are vulnerable when the temperatures drop. And right now, many people are wondering, are we going to be able to keep the lights on? I've fought for many of the reforms to make sure that we have adequate winterization of our energy infrastructure. So I'm going to continue to be a champion for healthcare, for public schools, for climate change, but most important, advocacy involved in the community when it comes to giving back, when it comes to paying it forward for the next generation, food distributions, COVID testing, whatever the needs are. I have been there, and I'm asking for your continued support. I'm so grateful and so blessed. My faith teaches me to whom much is given, much is required. And I'm going to continue to fight to make sure that your values are met in Austin, Texas. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity, and I look forward to your hopeful continued support as I seek re-election for a 7th term. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Reynolds. Also running for State Representative, Vicinity Johnson. Candidate Johnson, please unmute yourself. The floor is yours. we can get technology to assist Ms. Johnson in unmuting her.
I'm not receiving a response from Ms. Johnson for her
Okay.
request to unmute so far.
Okay. Well, we'll go on to candidate running for Representative Suleiman Leilani.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. The floor is yours. You have
All right.
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay, I will be quick. Thank you for the opportunity. Actually, I'm taking this call from my car in the parking lot of a nursing home because I don't want to drive during this weather. Well, I am Dr. Suleiman Lalani, and I'm running for House District 76, and I'm running for issues which are near and dear to me, which is very important for the community too. I'm a physician in practice for 25 years, and I have seen the human face of our healthcare system failure, which I mean that we do have the technology and healthcare and infrastructure, but when it comes to access, our own people cannot access it. And we need to be more proactive, work with our legislator on Medicaid expansion so more people can get benefit out of it. Texas has the highest number of uninsured. I do geriatrics. I have seen elderly people, they are struggling for prescription medications. At times, it's a decision about getting food on the table or the medication. And unfortunately, some of them will end up in the emergency room and with the complication, and then we will be spending money. So, we need to work on healthcare access. Education is another big thing for me. I want to make sure that our state funding for public education improves. We are currently number 44 when it comes to public education funding. We need to create creative ways of getting more funding through the public education. We need to empower our teachers who understand children more. We need to increase their pay so we can retain quality teachers. We also work on the curriculum. Look at the CRT, look at the other things that are happening. Look at the books that are pulling out of the libraries. We need the authority to go back to the teachers in that regard. So I am for education, healthcare, economic disproportion that has happened with COVID. Anything that we have learned with COVID is we can't create walls and then assume that we are safe when our neighbors and community is suffering. So I am for equal pay. I'm for gender equality, healthcare, education, and I'm Suleiman Lalani asking for your help and support and your vote for the upcoming primary because you need a doctor in the house to help with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Leilani, and thank you for parking and not driving while presenting tonight. Next up, candidate for state representative. We're going to circle back to Daniel Lee. Candidate Daniel Lee for state representative, are you on? If so, please unmute yourself.
I'm here.
Great, the floor is yours, sir.
Sorry about that. I was at a mediation. My name's Daniel Lee. I'm running for HD 26, House District 26. I want to be your next state representative representing the Katy, Richmond, Pecan Grove area. I've been an attorney for almost 15 years, mainly protecting families, representing children, parents. And I want to take my knowledge of the law and apply it to what we have there in the state. I believe that a lot of what Mr. Lulani was stating is true. We have a lack of, good infrastructure in the healthcare system, and we have many people. I believe it's 700,000 plus people that are either uninsured, underinsured, or they just simply cannot find the right doctors because there's a waiting period. And I want to address those issues right away because, if our neighbors are poor, we are poor. I'm poor, my family's poor, and we're poor together. We're not separate, we're not divided. A lot of people are trying to divide us, but we are one United States of America. We're not a divided States of America. And the same thing applies to Texas. We're one Lone Star state and not multiple. And so we need each other to come together and not separate the poor from the rich. Having said that, we want to commit to creating more jobs in the clean energy sector. I'm sorry, is that my time? Not saying that we're getting rid of any jobs in the oil and gas industry, but that we need to add more clean energy items because we don't want to end up like states and cities like Detroit. And lastly, I want to combine those together. If we have some type of taxes on certain types of car sales, like large trucks and things of that nature, nothing crazy, just something minor, and we can redirect those funds that we get from there to schools. We can pay the teachers properly, and also, you know, create better infrastructure for other things that we need, like you know, the power grid issues, and having more funding for, you know, flooding, because we definitely need more funding in that sector, as many of us here in Houston have been affected by both. And right now we're all freezing. I mean, school's out tomorrow as I'm checking my phone earlier today. And yet again, the power grid is not fixed. We do not have the right structures in place to punish those that are not winterizing correctly, and you know, making sure that all of us are safe during the season. So I want to make sure that instead of incentivizing those, we are actually putting in place something that will make a difference. And lastly, there's the gun violence situation has increased in our state, and I want to make sure that we have common sense legislation where, you know, there's background checks or additional checks that are in place, so that we don't have this, you know, situation where children are just scared to go to school, or parents are scared to send their kids to school. So once again, my name's Daniel Lee. I'm running for your next state representative in District 26. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I want to make a quick announcement before we move on. It's come to my attention that some of the panelists or some of the candidates are logging on, not using the Zoom link, and we need you to use the Zoom link that's going to be found in the email titled Panelists for the Virtual Meet with the Candidates. That will ensure that you have audio and that we can hear you and see you. So please look for that email, and hopefully that resolves the audio issues we're having with some of the candidates who are logging on. I understand that candidate for State Representative Venetia Johnson is now on and her audio is working. So Ms. Johnson, please unmute yourself and the floor is yours.
Can you hear me? I'm trying to unmute the video.
We can hear you.
Okay, hopefully it will give video. Hello everyone, I am Venetia R. Johnson and I am running for State Representative of House District 76. I am a licensed clinical social worker by profession. I am a natural advocate and activist by cause. I currently lead the equity movement here in Fort Bend County in Greater Houston. Equity has become a household name across the country, and I want to stake my claim to say that I have fiercely led it here in the region. My priorities running for state representative of House District 76 is that I am a pro-choice woman. I believe in the right for a woman to choose when it comes to early term abortions. I also have been in healthcare administration for almost 20 years. I am a Medicaid provider. I understand the unique challenges of the Medicaid program. And what I want to do is to transform the program and expand Medicaid services. I actually served on the transformation waiver, the 11.
Ms. Johnson, are you there? I think we lost your audio.
I also wanted to, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. What I also want to do is to address criminal justice reform. I want to address the punitive practices, especially the excessive discipline in our public education system. I'm already the chair of the discipline community. The discipline committee with Fort Bend ISD. I have led many endeavors when it comes to restorative justice, when it comes to social emotional learning, when it comes to behavioral support and interventions. And I want to take everything that I've done. I am a doer. I am not a person that makes promises. I'm a person that get things done. And I want to take that mindset to Austin. When it comes to environmental justice, I want to address that. I definitely want to address the grid, but I also want to address cancer clusters that are going on in our community. I want to address the parish, the big industry that's poisoning our atmosphere. I am a racial justice warrior, and I want to make sure that we get justice for hate crimes. So I also want to acknowledge that I'm a 25-year member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I am asking for your vote. The way to reach me is to go to voteforvenetiatx.com. There you will not only find out what I plan to do in Austin, but you'll get a real bird's eye view of what I've already done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. So I know some of the candidates logged on a few minutes late. That soft chime you just heard is your alert notifying you have 30 seconds remaining. So please be mindful of that if you hear it. So we're moving now to the candidates for Justice of the Courts of Appeals. First in ballot order is Judge Mike Engelhardt, Justice of the First Court of Appeals, place 4, candidate for Justice of the First Court of Appeals. Judge Engelhardt, are you on? Judge Engelhardt, if you're still on, please unmute yourself. Okay. Next in ballot order, running for Justice of the 14th Court of Appeals, District Place 2, Judge Kyle Carter. Judge Carter.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you very much. Judge Kyle Carter here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine, Judge.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I want to give a special thank you to the NAACP of Missouri City and Vicinity, as well as Delta Sigma Theta Inc. Incorporated. Thank you all for having me here today. I am Judge Kyle Carter, and I am running for 14th Court of Appeals, Place 2. And I am running to make a positive difference in the lives of all Texans by bringing better access, better equality, and better justice to our courts. I am a lifelong Democrat. I grew up in Sharpstown, so I'm a resident, lived my whole life in Southwest Houston. And I've been a judge for the last 13 years. I get up every day excited for the opportunity to make a positive difference in people's lives. I can tell you that I have the experience, the qualifications, and the record to be your next justice on the 14th Court of Appeals. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm board certified in civil trial law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. I've won awards for my work both on the bench and in the community. Recently, I won the South Texas College of Law Public Service Award. I won the Outstanding Judicial Leadership Award from the Texas Association of District Judges. I've twice been unanimously elected to serve as president of the Texas Association of District Judges. Additionally, I served as general counsel to the Texas House Committee on General Investigations and Ethics and the House Committee on Urban Affairs. On those committees, I worked with the committee chairman and other members to investigate the Houston Crime Lab, look into DNA testing, and help propose legislation to solve some of the issues that were going on at that time. That was before I was a judge. While I've been on the bench, I've made it my practice to make sure that everyone is treated with equality, dignity, and respect. My judicial philosophy is embodied in Proverbs 31:9. Speak up, judge fairly, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. I would love the opportunity to work on this very important court in making sure that we have laws and judges that know what they're doing on the Court of Appeals. I'm Judge Kyle Carter. I'm asking for your vote for 14th Court of Appeals, Place 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge Carter. Next, we have candidates for the district courts in Fort Bend County. And first, in ballot order, we have Judge Frank Fraley, sitting judge of the 240th District Court. Judge Fraley, are you on?
Yes, I am. Hopefully I clicked on the right link and everything.
You did. We
Oh,
can hear you.
thank
and the
you,
floor
thank
is
you.
yours.
Yeah, my name is Frank Fraley. And as our moderator said, I am the sitting judge of the 240th District Court here in Fort Bend County. I was elected in 2018. Prior to that, I operated my own law practice for close to 30 years. It was a civil and criminal law practice. I graduated from Thurgood Marshall School of Law in 1990. Prior to that, I worked at the VA hospital as a medical technologist. As a matter of fact, I continued to do so while I operated my law practice. And that was to my advantage. That gave me a clientele. Plus, I found that I could charge people less money for the services that they needed. I honestly did not go into the profession to be rich. Maybe that was my mistake, but I'm proud to say that I'm sitting on the bench. Now, I've been on the bench now for, it's going to my 4th year. You know, these are 4-year terms. I'm up for re-election. So I'm definitely asking for your vote to allow me to continue to do the work that I set out to do. And I consider myself a trailblazer. I ran for this position in 2016. There were 3 Democrats that ran when it really wasn't popular to be a countywide Democrat in this county, and all 3 of us lost, but we lost by a small percentage. I ran again in 2018, and myself and others who joined in, we all ran. So we finally got some diversity on the bench. We changed the color of the voters here in Texas. That we helped turn Fort Bend County blue. Now, while I've been on the bench, we are a court of general jurisdiction, criminal and civil cases. Not only did I try cases, I also took time to become the district judge representative for our Fort Bend Bail Bond Board and a chairperson of our Fort Bend Purchasing Board, and also a district board member for the State Bar of Texas. So I'm asking that you can find more about me by going to fraleyforjudge.com. I'm asking for your vote in my re-election bid because I love my job, I love what I do, I love the people that I work with. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your remarks, Judge Fraley. Next up are several candidates running for the 328th District Court here in Fort Bend County, and the first among them, in ballot order, is sitting Judge Walter Armitage. Judge Armitage, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the invitation to be here. It's a privilege and an honor, and it's tough to follow Judge Fraley. He's a friend of mine. He's been going to my Bible study every Tuesday for I don't know how many years. We have Bible study every Tuesday in court, and it's a great time, well attended. And so, folks, I'm the sitting judge of the 328th District Court. Before I was elected in 2018, I was the associate judge in that court for 12 years, and obviously learned an awful lot. You know, in a family district court, well, before I got to be a judge, I was initially a family law practitioner doing custody cases, divorces, things such as that. I then was hired to be a prosecutor. I got hired to be a prosecutor to prosecute child abuse cases. The reason I was hired to do that was before that, I'd represented moms and dads in CPS cases. And so I went from representing those cases to prosecuting those cases. Learned one thing about CPS cases, and that's this. You show me a child who's been abused or neglected, I'll show you a child who wants to go home. They want to go home. And to that end, the 328th District Court has initiated an infant and toddlers court where it's not as adversarial as typical family law cases. We try to reunify moms and dads with these kids as quickly as we can. We give vouchers for moms and dads for travel, for rent, for utilities, because like you guys, if your battery doesn't start tomorrow, you're probably still going to be able to make it to work. These CPS moms and dads, their battery doesn't start tomorrow. They don't make it to work. They don't make it to court. They don't make it to visit their child. They don't make it to do all of these things. And it's really tough on them. So we try to do the best we can to reunify moms and dads as quickly as they can. I will tell you that of all these races that are represented here tonight, a family district court is absolutely the most nonpartisan race there could possibly be. When I divide estates, I don't do it in a liberal fashion or a conservative fashion.
Judge Armitage, I hate to interrupt you, sir, but that is your time.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Time flies.
Thank you for understanding. But there are so many candidates on tonight. And so in order to get to accommodate everyone, we have to move on. But thank you for being on and thank you for joining us. Next, we have also running for the 328th District Court, candidate Jetty Abraham. Ms. Abraham, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, NAACP. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I am Jetty Abraham. I am running for the Democratic Party for the 328 District Court. Just a little bit of background for me. I do bring experience, quite a bit of experience to this race. Recently, I was inducted as a fellow for the Texas Bar Foundation. And what that is every year, only about 1/3% of practicing lawyers get invited to this foundation. And now I'm a member. And that's based on my work. That is based on what my peers feel about me. And there are several other accolades that I have, but rather than spending time with too much of that, I'll tell you who I am. I am an immigrant from India. I learned English here in Texas. This is where I learned to speak English. And now I'm here with a license and I'm running for a judge. Why am I running for judge? Because I want to represent what Fort Bend County looks like right now. Why? Because in a family court, the rule of law is the most important, certainly, but the application of the rule of law is impacted by the stories, the collateral issues that are there all the time. And Fort Bend County, as is such a diverse county, it is time right now to have someone not just with the experience, but also the background from India. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Abraham. So it doesn't look like a few of the candidates that follow her are on. And so I'm going to move to Judge Chad Bridges, who's running for the 458th District Court. I understand that he's on.
I'm here, ma'am. Monica Rollins and Blair Parker are here.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. Next up, also running for the 328th District Court, Ms. Monica Rollins. Ms. Rollins, please forgive me. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much, NAACP and Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, and those who have made this event possible. I am Monica Rollins. I'm running for the 328 District Court. I am a graduate for undergraduate studies at University of Houston. And then I moved on and I worked as a caseworker with CPS for about 1.5 years. Then I proceeded on to attend Thurgood Marshall School of Law at Texas Southern University. I graduated in May 2001, sat for the bar in July, and I was licensed in November. I fell in love with family law in law school. And so from there, I continued my studies and I ultimately opened up my own practice. And I've been in that same practice now for a bit over 20 years. During that time period, I had a son. He's 16 years old, and I am now a single mother. I'm a divorced single mother. A little bit about my practice. In the practice is primarily family law. This is the court of jurisdiction for family cases. In my practice, I've been appointed to multiple cases early on as an amicus, whether it be for a child or a parent in CPS cases, or in private cases to search for a parent. I have studied and practiced adoption cases, custody, interstate proceedings, a wide range of different areas in the family law arena. I've also been very, very busy in my community. and that actually started prior to me even becoming an attorney. I have volunteered with Interfaith Ministries, Houston Food Bank, the Beacon, several different worthy causes. I like to become the next judge of 328 District Court, and I like to bring that sense of community with me, the sense of compassion, and apply and interpret the law properly in the court. I'm asking for your consideration and your vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Rollins. Next up, also a candidate for the 328th District Court is Blair Parker. Ms. Parker, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the Missouri City chapter of the NAACP. And I appreciate all of the hard work that you guys did putting this event together. My name is Blair Parker. I am running for the 328th District Court, and as they said, it is a family law court. I am a family law attorney. I have been practicing family law for over 10 years now. My life actually started in family court. I was adopted. I was one of the lucky ones, and I was able to, find my way into a very loving family, and I wouldn't be here without them today. So family law is something that has always been very, very special to me and something that I've always wanted to be involved in. And in fact, before I got my license, I actually started working at the Office of the Attorney General's Child Support Division prior to me attending law school. And then when I was in law school, I interned for the Harris County District Attorney's Felony Family Violence Division, and I also worked with the pro bono clinics at my office to provide free services to people who did not have the means to hire family law attorneys, because we see the most self-represented people in family law, because there's very, very little instances where you're entitled to a court-appointed attorney in family law. So that was a very fulfilling experience for me. And then once I got my license, I just immediately started working in family law. I have had multiple jury trials. I've had countless bench trials, countless contested hearings. I've done some appellate work. I currently do a lot of amicus work where I'm representing the best interests of the children in custody in CPS cases. I have dealt with CPS defense. Pretty much anything in family law, I have been able to do it. And I've been very fortunate in that regard. I'm running because this is something that's very important to me. I think that judicial candidates often get taken for granted by the community at large. And I love this event and getting the community educated on the judicial candidates. And I'm running to create a better environment in the family court system for every family that walks into that courtroom, because I think everybody deserves the time and attention that their individual family matter deserves. And I appreciate you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Parker. Next, in ballot order, running for the 458th District Court, Judge Robert Rolnick. Judge Rolnick, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, can everybody hear me? I hope. All right, well, yes, I'm Judge Robert Rolnick, and I am the judge of the 458th District Court, and appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank the NAACP for setting up this program. In terms of my qualifications, first of all, of course, I am the current judge, was elected in 2018. I went to Duke University and then got my law degree from South Texas College of Law. I've been licensed attorney since 1977, so that is 45 years. So if you add finishing law school at age 26 and 45 years, that makes me probably the elder statesman of this group. I'm board certified in personal injury trial law. Judge Carter was a little modest when he talked about being board certified. Really, only about 2% of the attorneys in Texas are able to be board certified. To be board certified, you have to have tried so many cases and take complicated tests, et cetera. So I am board certified in personal injury trial law. I have been a resident of Sugar Land for over 35 years, and I'm married with 2 grown children and 1 grandchild. And I have a dog here somewhere who's causing some problems, but he's okay right now. I am a lifelong Democrat. I've been involved in Democratic politics here in the Houston and Fort Bend County areas for many years, endorsed by Ron Reynolds and KP George and some other people as well. The best way to find the court, by the way, is a general jurisdiction court. So we have family and, we have a criminal and civil jurisdiction. The best way to contact me is going to be through my website, rolnickforjudge.com, as well as on Facebook, which is at Rolnick for Judge. And you can contact me through Messenger and be happy to answer any questions you've got. Appreciate your vote. Robert Rolnick, Judge of the 458th District Court in the Democratic primary. You can also call me if you'd want, 713-677-3836. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Rolnick. And so I know I keep saying we're going in ballot order, but it looks like Stephen Longoria, who's also running for the 450th, has dropped off, or we've lost his connection. So with that being the case, we're going to move to the candidates for county judge. And the first in ballot order is KP George, sitting county judge. Are you on, sir?
He was on, but I believe he may have stepped away with some OEM duties. He will probably.
Ms. Thompson, this is Judge Tony Wallace. I just want to let you know, we are also having an Office of Emergency Management meeting simultaneously, and Judge George is on that meeting right now. So I'm sure he's going to jump back on to this forum as soon as he's available.
Thank you. There's actually one more candidate who is on the call. I'm sorry, he is running for the 458th District Court. Chad Bridges, are you on? Thank you.
I think you're on. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. My name is Chad Bridges, and I thank the people of Delta Sigma Theta and the NAACP for letting us have this moment tonight. I am running for the 458th District Court. I am a Republican and I'm unopposed in the Republican primary. My experience is this: I've been a district court judge before. I have 3¼ years experience doing that, but I have over 20 years as a prosecutor. I am, like Judge Rolnick mentioned, board certified. I'm board certified in criminal law. I am the only candidate in the race, and this is a district court that hears felonies that is board certified in criminal law. I'm also president of the Exchange Club of Fort Bend, a good group of citizens that some of the people in this group belong to as well that help our community. I'm also president of the Fort Bend County Crime Victims Response Team. We are a 501c3 that helps raise awareness for issues involving sexual assault and domestic violence. And in fact, many of the judges who are on this call tonight are coming to our training next week on the 9th at the Stafford Center. And I appreciate y'all's attendance and y'all's willingness to learn more about this important area of law. I was a judge in 2015 through 2018. In fact, I was in the election in 2018 where Frank Fraley is now the judge of the 240th. But what I've been doing in the meantime is I was welcomed back into the DA's office in Fort Bend County to work for Brian Middleton. And while I've been there, I've participated in a lot of Brian's vision. And it's been about criminal justice reform. It's been about our reintegration court. And I've helped that with grants that I've written. I've helped that with controlling docket controllers that I've run through the Board of Judges. And I've also helped with the community outreach, including the Exposed Excellence Youth Program. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Mr. Bridges. So I've learned that some people have dropped off and they've joined us again. So I want to circle back to candidate also running for the 458th District Court. I understand that Stephen Longoria has joined us. Mr. Longoria, the floor is yours. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody who's out there. Thank you for putting this NAACP for putting this program on. My name is Stephen Longoria. I'm running for the 458th District Court. I've got over 28 years of experience in criminal law. I was born and raised in Corpus Christi. Since the age of 14, my parents had a sheet metal shop. I started working there, graduated from high school, went off to the University of Texas in Austin, graduated from there in 1988, went on to Texas Southern's Thurgood Marshall School of Law, graduated from there in 2003. My wife and I, Tracy, been married for almost 32 years. We have 3 children, and looking forward to your support for the 458th District Court. As I said earlier, I have over 28 years of experience, most of it being in the criminal field. I've dealt with all kinds of people, the mental issues that go with it, the stresses, the strains on families. I've dealt with the misdemeanors up to the highest felonies, juvenile cases, and make no mistake about it, as Mr. Bridges said, the district court dockets are heavy on criminal cases, and it requires a judge to have the experience in dealing with the individuals that are before a judge. Judges don't just call balls and strikes. They have to deal with the people that are in front of them, and it takes an experienced person in dealing with those people that come before a judge in a district court case. I've been endorsed by the LGBTQ plus community, the AFL Texas Gulf Coast AFL-CIO, and the Tejano Committee of Fort Bend County. So I would greatly appreciate your support and look forward to talking to you guys some more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Longoria. For those candidates who are just joining us or who joined us later in the presentation, that soft chime is just a reminder that you have 30 seconds remaining. So use it. We want to hear as much from you as possible. So we're going to move on now to the candidates for the county courts at law. And first, in ballot order, is Japala Kemp, running for the county court at law number 1. Ms. Kemp.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. I am Japala Kemp. I'm running for Fort Bend County Court at Law number 1 here in Fort Bend County in the Democratic primary. Thank you again to Delta Sigma Theta and also to the NAACP for hosting this and allowing us to share our platforms. I am a graduate of the University of Michigan. I got my Bachelor's of Arts there at the University of Michigan. My major there was criminal justice. From there, I went on to Thurgood Marshall School of Law. I have JD, and I've been practicing law for 18 years. I started out in the office of Craig Washington, who is a former US Congressman. In that office, I learned to practice criminal law. And so since I learned criminal law and learned it so well from Mr. Washington, I then started my own criminal law practice. I did not go to the DA's office like many folks, but however, Mr. Washington provided me with such a great background and education with regard to criminal law. I have practiced in the areas of juvenile law, criminal law, family law, and I also practice in the area of CPS litigation. I represent indigent defendants and indigent families in those 2 arenas. I love to represent the underdogs, the people who just don't have enough money to hire a lawyer. It is my passion, and I work very hard for them. They receive zealous representation. I'm also a lifetime Democrat. And when I say that, I'm not only just a lifetime Democrat, I have proven Democratic leadership. I've worked with the Democratic Party on voter registration. I've worked with them on getting out the vote. I also worked in the community with regard to local and also federal elections. Part of my experience in the community is I was a former precinct chair, former HOA vice president. I sat on the Missouri City Charter Commission, the TERS board. Like I stated earlier, I'm a VDR, voter deputy registrar. I've also tutored students in the criminal law clinic. So if you want to know more about me and my platform, please look me up at kempforjudge.com. Thank you again for allowing me to share my platform.
Thank you for joining us, Ms. Kemp.
Thank you.
Next up is running for county court at law number 2 is Oscar Telfair. Mr. Telfair, are you on?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. You have 2 minutes.
Good evening to the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, which I'm a proud Delta Bo, and also to the NAACP. Thank you for providing this platform for us. My name is Oscar Telfair. I'm running for judge of Fort Bend County Court of Law number 2. I've been practicing law for 35 years, but I've had my own practice for 27 years. And what have I done in those 27 years? I've practiced in the area of civil, criminal, probate, and juvenile, and other areas. Now, why is this important? Because this is the general jurisdiction court. Don't let anyone tell you that this is just a criminal court and you need to be overly versed in criminal law. Yes, I have that experience, but you also have those civil cases that need to get to trial. You have those probate court cases, and I think everyone is entitled to have their dispute brought before this court. Of course, those that are charged with crimes have a right to a speedy trial, but we need to do something about these civil cases that are taking 5 years to get to trial. You have a personal injury case. It's going to, insurance companies know this, and they're going to squeeze those plaintiffs and make them settle for something less. But I'm also running because Fort Bend is the most diverse county in the entire United States. So I believe justice should look like everyone. I believe justice should not be based on one's race, gender, ethnicity, nationality, economic status, or race. So if you come in my courtroom, you're going to get a fair trial. And I've seen an inequity during my years of practice from the charge to the sentencing phase. So I want to make sure where those rehabilitative programs that are already in place, they're employed, we're justified. Everyone doesn't deserve to go to jail. So we want to rehabilitate those folks with those programs. I've been working in the community since I got here. I'm not from Texas, but I got here as soon as I could. And I've been working since I've been here. I've done over 60 food banks since COVID in March of 2020. I'm running for County Court of Law number 2. I'm passionate about this. I want to deal with that pipeline from high school to prison. I want to have mentoring programs. So I want to be your judge for County Court of Law number 2. You can find more information about me and why I'm passionate about serving on this court at telfairforjudge.com. Thank you for this opportunity and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Telfair. Next up, also running for County Court at Law number 2, Mr. Tony Wadawan. Mr. Wadawan, are you on?
I am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank the NAACP and the women of Delta Sigma Theta for giving me the opportunity. My name is Tony Wadawan. I'm running for judge of County Court at Law number 2 here in Fort Bend County. As a criminal defense attorney, I've spent a lot of time in our county courts, and it's because our county courts are so heavily weighted in criminal law. Our county courts carry about a 75 to 80% criminal docket, and that is including our juvenile representation, which I've done a lot of. I've been attorney of the day several times for our juvenile detention settings. This is where I have taken on the whole entire juvenile docket for that day and have fought for their release. And I've done this for almost all of our county courts. I currently have open cases for juveniles right now in County Court at Law number 2. But most importantly, I've spent so much time in our courts, in our county courts, and I haven't always liked what I've seen. It takes somebody with that kind of experience to sit on this bench, review these cases on a case-by-case basis, and apply discretion, balance, and fairness where it's appropriate. Like I stated, one of my biggest passions is juvenile law. I believe in education over incarceration, and this is a type of program that I'd like to bring to the bench with me. In addition, there's something that we very rarely hear about County Court at Law that I think it's very sad. This is the Veterans Court in Fort Bend County. Veterans Court is very important to me. I have several veterans in my family. My campaign manager is a Marine Corps vet. And so the reason why this program has been forgotten about is because the requirements to get into our Veterans Court is so stringent. Lucky for me, I have great relationships with those who oversee these programs. I plan on sitting down with them after I get onto the bench and speaking about releasing some of these stringent requirements, which, lucky for us, we're already seeing. I have spent my career fighting against district attorneys and fighting for our young juveniles of minority status. This is the passion that I carry, and this is what I'm going to bring to the bench. I'd like everybody to remember that I am number 2 on our ballot. So please vote for number 2 for County Court at Law number 2. My name again is Attorney Tony Wadawan. I'm running for judge of County Court at Law number 2, and I ask for your support. You can email me directly at Tony4Judge2022@gmail.com. That's Tony4Judge2022@gmail.com. Thank you so much. God bless, and everybody have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Wadawan. And your final candidate running for County Court at Law number 2, Ms. Tyra McCollum.
Hi there and good evening. Thank you, NAACP, and special and warm felt thanks to my sister sorors from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And thank you to the public voting for tuning in. I am Tyra McCollum and running for County Court at Law number 2. I emphasize that because I am not just running to be a judge of a court. I am running to be the judge of this court, because this court, as a general jurisdiction court, speaks to civil, probate, criminal, and juvenile. The work of this court speaks to property, and that's important, but the work of this court speaks to people. It speaks to people who find themselves in encounters, in misdemeanor situations in the criminal courts, but it also speaks to juveniles. The work of property is work that needs to be handled, but the work of people is the life that we breathe. As the juvenile chief of the district attorney's office, those rehabilitative programs that we speak of, those are programs that I have helped put in place. Those diversionary programs are programs that I have incepted, programs involving substance abuse, juvenile families that are in crisis. I think that the value of what we bring to the table is rooted in experience and knowledge and the ability to access what our kids need. This is no time for us as judges to learn the work. We have to have the background there in place so that on day one, the judge will be sworn in on January 1st. What I can say to you with confidence and ask you to check who I am and what I stand for is that on January 2nd, I will be ready to do the work. The courts need that kind of seasoning. They need someone who is passionate and ready to do the work. That is exactly where I am. Our population, our demographics demand it. I understand. I'm a graduate of Willow Ridge High School there on the Wall of Honor, the University of Texas, University of Houston, and a first generation of everyone seeking to be a first generation judge and the first African-American judge to be on that bench in County Court at Law number 2 with a different family name who is giving it back to the community. You can reach me at www.tyraforjudge.com and Tyra for Judge on Facebook. Thank you. I look forward to your support. And I say to you, perhaps I was made for just a time such as this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCollum. In ballot order, next we will have candidate for County Court at Law number 4, sitting judge, Judge Tony Wallace. Judge Wallace, are you on?
I am here.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tony Wallace, and I am the presiding judge for County Court at Law number 4. I was elected to this position and chosen for this service in 2018. It has been my honor and my privilege to serve in this capacity as the judge since 2018 and be amongst the first 5 African-American judges ever elected to benches in 2018. Prior to that, in 2016, I was appointed by unanimous vote by the county commissioners to serve as the inaugural judge for County Court at Law number 5. And I was working in the district attorney's office before that and was selected for that position, where I discovered the powerful impact that judges have in the community every single day. What have I done since being selected and elected in 2018? The work never stops in County Court at Law number 4 and in all of the courts in Fort Bend County. We have been working to clear out the backlog that I inherited from my predecessor, and it was a lot. We worked really hard for about 1.5 years to really clear through all of the cases. And as some of the other candidates have alluded to, our courts are general jurisdiction courts. We cover 5 main areas, and I'll go through those really quickly. We cover misdemeanor criminal law. We cover juvenile criminal law. We cover civil cases up to $200,000 in damages. We cover probate cases, trust and guardianships. And lastly, we do mental health commitments. So we have been working really hard to make sure that our courts are running efficiently. Unfortunately, we ran into COVID, and so we had to pivot and do everything on Zoom. And we have made sure that the justice has not stopped in the county courts. I did over 400 hours of Zoom hearings last year alone, and we will continue to do the work. My website is judgetonywallace.com, judgetonywallace.com, judgetonywallace.com. You can find me on Facebook. If you want to see what I've been doing over the past 3 years, please go to my Facebook page and just scroll through. You'll see I've not only been working on the bench, but I've also been in the community. And it will be my honor and my pleasure to continue to serve. So I'm asking for your support and your vote to re-elect me as the judge for County Court at Law Number 4. Thank you very much. Thank you to the NAACP and to the lovely ladies of Delta Sigma Theta for offering us this opportunity to address the community.
Thank you, Judge Wallace. So I know you keep hearing me say in ballot order, but it's virtual and people are joining us when they can. And so we're doing our best to go in ballot order, but I understand that the sitting county judge, KP George, has rejoined. And so I would like to give him an opportunity to give his remarks now if he's available and circle back.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I apologize because since this morning I've been dealing with the weather and I had 2 calls in between, so that's why I had to jump off. But I'm back, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for accommodating me. And as you know, I am KP George, your Fort Bend County Judge. The people of Fort Bend County gave me an opportunity to serve as their county judge in 2018, November onwards, and I'm the first person of any color to be elected to that position in 186 years of Fort Bend County's history, and I'm considering this as an honor. And so I know that my time is limited. We were able to bring that office to public and connect with every community. Before, it was just ran by a group of good old boys, and nobody even knew what county judge did. But when it comes to COVID response, which is one of the biggest issue we are dealing with the last 2 years, we are number 2 as of last week per capita basis in state of Texas. We are the 10th largest county in state of Texas, and 97% of our seniors, our fathers, mothers, uncles, and aunties, 97% is fully vaccinated. And when it comes to disaster preparedness, and as I'm doing that, we didn't even have a building when I came in. I'm glad to say that next month we will be opening our state-of-the-art OEM building, and we are working 24/7 to make sure we are communicating with our citizens. And also, I tell you, community engagement and youth empowerment was other 2 issues. We have a youth leadership program. We have a youth internship program. This summer, we started, I spearheaded that, a paid youth internship program in Fort Bend County. So we 250 students from our community selected. And so I have a long list of stuff to talk about, but I just wanted to say, we were able to level the playing field for a lot of our people. Never felt county, never cared about them. And I go to certain parts of Missouri City and Richmond, Rosenberg areas and all, they always say I'm the first person from the county visited them. And so it's an honor, and I work with people on a regular basis. Our office is available for anybody and everybody, as long as you are a citizen of Fort Bend County.
Judge George, I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir.
I know. KPGeorge.com. Yeah, KPGeorge.com, and check, and then we will, if you have any question, please reach out to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And so it's my understanding that's the only candidate for county judge we have joining us this evening. So we're going to move on to the candidate for district clerk. So next up in ballot order, we have the presiding district clerk, Beverly Walker.
Unmuted, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone. I am Beverly Walker, and I'm your serving Fort Bend County District Clerk who is running for re-election in 2022. Thank you so much for the wonderful job that you gave me in 2019. I've enjoyed every day of it, every hour of it, and every minute of it. and I would certainly like to have your support to come back. The district clerk does a lot of things behind the scenes to make sure that the district courts run properly. And I could sit here and explain those to you, but in general, we handle every piece of paper that flows out of the district courts. We manage those papers, we digitize them, we archive them, we preserve them. But there are two phases in which we serve the public directly, and that is with jury and with passports. I am the person who summons everyone to court in Fort Bend County, not only to district courts, but we also summons to the county courts at law, and we summons to the justices of the peace courts. And so if you get a summons, it's from me. I like to brag about the fact that we have increased the number of people who show up for jury duty. Every time I have the opportunity to speak, I explain to people that I do not believe, well, let me put it this way. I think it's immature for people to try to get out of jury duty, because we need a cross section of people at jury duty so that everyone in Fort Bend County, a county as diverse as this, can be represented. So I have put out a little flyer that tells people how to become a juror and not to take exemptions that they could take, i.e. an exemption because I'm 70 plus. Unless you need that, don't take it, because we need the opinions of the elderly at jury duty. Don't take an exemption because you have a child who's under age 12, unless you cannot find someone to keep your child. And please, young people, do not wimp out by taking the excuse that I am a college student and I can't miss college today. Make up your assignments virtually or make them up on another day, because the opinions of young people at jury duty are just as important as are any other opinions. I would love to have your support. I have 3 degrees. I'm a graduate of Texas A&M University. I have a degree in languages. I have a degree from U of H, and I'm also a licensed attorney. So I hope you bring me back so that I can work for Fort Bend County. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up, we have candidates for county clerk. And the first is Tony Smith. Ms. Smith, are you on?
I'm here.
The floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Tony Smith. I am running for your next Fort Bend County clerk. First of all, I would also like to thank Delta Sigma Theta and also the NAACP for allowing us to share our platform with you guys tonight. I'm running for Fort Bend County Clerk, and I'm also #1 on the ballot. I'm confident that I possess the integrity, the experience, and the accountability and the commitment to lead the ideal as an ideal candidate for the Democratic ticket for Fort Bend County Clerk. My experience is organizational leadership and successful entrepreneur for over 37 years with excellent business practices. My goal as the county clerk is to provide a high ethical standards and exceptional customer service to the public with respect, courtesy, transparency, and professionalism. I'll also be fair, impartial, and compassionate and consistent. Additionally, I am committed to achieving excellence and improving governmental services through new technology designed to facilitate enhanced accessibility. Some of my top priorities is election integrity, to ensure fairness, transparency, exclusiveness, equity, integrity across all voting activities, to bring more diversity and inclusion to the Fort Bend County Clerk's office, to also reduce wait times by providing express pickup and online requests for new office locations to meet the expansion in our county. I also like to improve access and efficiency of the website and incorporate kiosks to assist attorneys and pro se litigants with standard filing, and also to provide priority service for our senior citizens and our veterans. I'm a servant at heart who desires to help others achieve their goals and to meet them where they are. I humbly ask you for your support and your opportunity to serve as your next Democratic Party representative for Fort Bend as a Fort Bend County Clerk. For more information, you can reach me at www.tonybsmith.com. Thank you, and I look forward to being your next county clerk.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. And next, the next candidate, also running for county clerk, is Steve Okoro. Mr. Okoro, the floor is yours, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for having me. Thank you to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated and the Missouri City branch of the NAACP. I'm very humbled and blessed to be here in front of you and everyone else. My name is Steve Okoro, and I'm running for Fort Bend County Clerk. A little background about myself before I go into why I'm running is I am an attorney practicing for about 10 years. I have my own law firm where I practice in the areas of business and contracts, family law, estate planning, and traffic tickets. I'm a lifelong resident of Fort Bend. I graduated from Dulles High School. I got my bachelor's degree at Georgetown University. Then I came back down here to Texas, graduated from South Texas College of Law and got my law degree. I have a lot of experience in the community. Lifelong Democrat. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes with the Democratic Party. But the main things that I do in the community now is that I am the Executive Senior Vice President for the American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce, where we do a wide range of community service activities, giving back to the less fortunate, and also opening up, different opportunities for people to connect in various sectors of business and commerce. But the main reason that I am running, my three biggest platforms are innovation, security, and efficiency. But the most important thing that is plaguing us right now are the things going on in Austin. Our voter integrity is under attack, and what I am running to do is to restore that and to secure that for everyone in Fort Bend County. Now, in the beginning of this seminar, Dr. Holliday spoke about voter suppression. In order to address that, I have experience by serving on the Fort Bend ballot board for the Democratic Party, where I was able to see firsthand some of the things that were going on with how ballots were being rejected. I have the experience dedicated and necessary to make sure that these things don't happen. And then Judge Glover also spoke about making people more informed. Well, I have created a video with District Attorney Brian Middleton, as well as the chairwoman of the Democratic Party, Cynthia Ginyard, about how to properly fill out mail-in ballots. So I've been doing the work, and I definitely have the experience that it takes to go ahead and serve as your next Fort Bend County Clerk. My information to contact me is my website, www.steveocampaign.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Steve O Campaign. Let's elect someone that can go in there and really take the job seriously and also make sure that we restore voter integrity in Fort Bend County. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Okoro. Next, we have candidates for County Treasurer. First in ballot order is Kassar Imam. Are you still on, sir? Also running for County Treasurer, Mr. Albert Tibbs. Mr. Tibbs, are you still on, sir?
He appears to be logged on, but not responding to requests.
Okay. Also running for County Treasurer, we have Johnson Thomas. Mr. Thomas, there you go. You're unmuted, sir. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Johnson Thomas. I'm running for Fort Bend County Treasurer, and I currently work in the probations department in Fort Bend County, adult probations, and my background is in accounting. I have an accounting degree, and I also have worked at the Internal Revenue Service as a tax auditor. Also worked at Texas Workforce Commission as a tax representative for all the employers in Texas, and I audited some of the main companies in Texas. the main reason I decided to run is I'm a political outsider. I work in the probation department, and I see the disparity between the races. I never knew that it was such a big social and economic disparity in our community till I started working there, and especially in the minority community. And I wanted to have a voice, so I was looking around to see how I can get into public service. And I looked and I saw, well, there's a treasurer's office that has, and I decided to run for it because I have the expertise, I have the education and the qualifications for it. And I believe the biggest problem in our community right now, especially for the young people in the minority community, is financial literacy. And my biggest platform that I want to do is go into high schools, set up a financial literacy program where kids could learn from bankers, financial professionals, real estate experts on how to start saving, how credit affects it, how it's more costly to have bad credit, and how to build generational wealth. And I also have a few bankers who said, oh, I've been trying to do this for 10 years. And we're going to set up a financial literacy program throughout high schools, maybe even for older adults who need that education, to get economic justice. That will be, I think that's going to be an equalizer to create social justice. Thank you for your time. I hear my bell, and everybody have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for acknowledging the bell and being respectful of the time. So next we have candidates for county commissioners. Is Assistant Chief Janine Hughes on? Also running for county commissioner is Larry Blackman on?
I am.
Welcome and thank you for being on the call. The floor is yours.
Trunks up. Trunks up. And between every Delta, there's a Sigma. I want to thank you all for having me here. I had a little problem getting on, but I talked to my granddaughter and she put me right on Zoom tonight. So it was right on time. Hey, I'm running for county commissioner in Fort Bend County, and this is my third time running for it. I ran before. I'm a longtime teacher and coach from Willow Ridge High School. I've spent 40 years out here. And I did all of the things that was unpopular at the time by supporting women and supporting the youth and the millennials way back when. So now a lot of people don't even know what the county commissioner's job is. The custodial responsibilities for the county commissioner are roads, bridges, parks, water, and infrastructure.
Mr. Blackman, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now? All right. As I was saying, as your new county commissioner, I will aggressively develop and maintain access for safe and comfortable egress and ingress, getting in and out of our neighborhoods, build and maintain our quality parks, and provide clean and fresh water, air, and soil. We need that in Precinct 2. We haven't had it for over 20 years, and make health facilities and community centers accessible for our youth and elderly. So my degree is in public administration and urban and regional planning from Texas Southern University. I graduated from Lamar University in Beaumont and worked down in Galveston for the city manager. So I'm used to doing all these type of things. I came out of Parks and Recreation with the city of Houston, and I heard that bell, and I'm gonna stop. I hope you ask me another question so I can finish.
Go ahead and tell the voters where they can find more information about you.
Say again?
How can the voters contact you? Do you have a website?
Oh, okay. They can contact me at larry.blackman@yahoo.com. And my telephone number is 281-415-0351. And I like your, and thank you for having me. And I'm telling everybody out there, you know, we need a new beginning, and we need to start off. And if we miss the boat this time, we're going to be in bad shape in this community. So vote for Larry Blackman for a new beginning, and I guarantee you we can turn this around.
Thank you, Mr. Blackman. Next up, we have Commissioner Grady Prestige running for County Commissioner Precinct 2. Mr. Prestige, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm Grady Prestige, your Fort Bend County Commissioner. I want to thank the members of Delta Sigma Theta, an organization that I'm very familiar with, and the NAACP-Missouri City and Vicinity branch, being one of the founding members of this chapter, of this branch. For 32 years, I've been your voice on the Commissioner's Court. That makes me the longest serving county commissioner in the history of Fort Bend County. And I've made it a point to open the doors of county government to everybody in Fort Bend County. I have the experience, the competence, and the relationships to continue to build parks, libraries, community centers, roads, bridges, drainage, and bring county services to all parts of Fort Bend County. Being a long tenured member, I serve as a mentor to all the new elected officials. I'm the go-to guy at the courthouse because I get things done. I'm a humble servant, and you won't find a more creative, energetic, or hardworking professional than me. Let me continue to work with you and for you on the Fort Bend County Commissioner's Court. And I appreciate your vote, your support, and your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Prestige. Next, we have running for County Commissioner Precinct 4 is Nita Sane.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. And I'm Nita Sane, candidate for Commissioner Precinct 4, Fort Bend County. I've lived in Fort Bend County for 24 years with my family, and my educational background includes an MBA in finance and accounting, and also a sustainable business strategy certificate from Harvard Business School. As a professional business owner, I own a management consulting firm, and I've been extensively involved in the community. I have served in many organizations in leadership roles. I was elected Houston Community College trustee for Fort Bend for 12 years, and I fought very hard for our community out here and delivered the transformative programs, state-of-the-art campuses and services, and delivered what the people of Fort Bend County needed. And it's been amazing to have every one of your support along the way. I have extensive experience in governing large budgets to the tune of $350 million and managing over 20 facilities, public safety, buildings, maintenance, amenities, workforce, you name it. So with that experience and a lot of initiatives that I led for youth, women, and seniors, and hard work and accomplishments, I'm running for Commissioner Precinct 4, Fort Bend County. Fort Bend County has not had a woman commissioner since the county was formed in 1837. With your support and your vote, I'm looking forward to bringing women's perspective and leadership on the Commissioner's Court in Fort Bend County. I'm running to bring sustainable infrastructure for flood prevention, mobility, healthcare, and jobs. And I need your support and vote. My website is nitasane.com. I'm a longtime Democrat. And again, it's a pleasure to be with you all. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sane. So I know there were some candidates that we missed because of technological issues. We're going to continue in ballot order and then circle back before we conclude and get to you. So please hang tight. We're going to continue on with candidates for County Commissioner. And for County Commissioner Precinct 4, we have Dexter McCoy.
Good evening, distinguished ladies of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and the honorable members of the NAACP. I'm Dexter L. McCoy, a proud brother of the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And as the third on my line to become an Alpha, I'm the third on the ballot to be your next commissioner for Fort Bend County Commissioner for Precinct 4. Look, this election is very personal to me because this community has invested so much in me and my family. It's on the same streets that sadly today are still filled with potholes in Mission Bend that I first learned how to drive. It's at the Fort Bend church that as a kid, I met the love of my life, my wife, Chelsea, and it's right here in Veranda where we built our first home. Fort Bend prepared me for the opportunities of a lifetime, like serving in the administration of our president, Barack Obama, coming back home and serving as the youngest district administrator in Fort Bend ISD, helping to empower student leaders and connect communities, and having the great honor and privilege of having the trust of our county judge to serve as his chief of staff, where I fought to bring internet access to parts of our community that had long been forgotten and advocated successfully for Juneteenth being recognized as an official paid county holiday right here in Fort Bend County, as it always should have been. As someone who knows what it's like to live outside the bounds of critical services, I'm tired of reluctant leadership not showing up to take the big shots on our behalf. And I'm plagued with the question of when will we realize that we're free? That we no longer have to accept mediocre absent leadership to move the needle on the issues that matter most to our people. And so I'm running to bring bold new energy to our county government, to move the needle on issues that matter most, and to invest in our people, invest in our infrastructure, and invest in the technology that's going to move us forward. And so if you, like me, believe that we deserve more, believe that we deserve better, I ask you to join me by going to dextermccoy.com. And if you'd like to join us this weekend for our weekend of action, I ask you to email us at info@dextermccoy.com. That's Dexter McCoy for County Commissioner for Precinct 4. It'd be my great honor and pleasure to serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Next, we're going to hear from candidates running for Justice of the Peace. And after that, we will circle back to the candidates for County Treasurer before we hear from the candidate for Chair of the Democratic Party. So Chief Roderick Garner, running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2. Are you on, sir?
Can you hear me?
I can. The floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Chief Roderick Garner, running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2. I'm the homegrown candidate, the only homegrown candidate for Precinct 2 Justice of the Peace. I'm a graduate of Willow Ridge High School, a graduate of Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and also a graduate of Colorado Technical University with a master's in criminal justice. I've served in criminal justice law enforcement for over 20 years. I'm from the community. My moniker is that I'm homegrown, and to understand being homegrown, I think you have to be homegrown. I understand the issues of Precinct 2. I understand what the truancy issues are, and I know that sending a child who does not want to go to the confines of a school and punishing him by making him go to an alternative school is nonsensical. I think that what we need to do is bring truancy back to Precinct 2, away from the other precinct, and so that our system, our community, can govern the truancy issue of our children. I'm a longtime resident of Fort Bend County Precinct 2. I grew up in Briargate. My parents moved us there in 1972, and I attended Willow Ridge High School. And from there, I went on to college and graduated from the University of Houston downtown with a bachelor's in criminal justice. I'm not a politician, but I'm willing to learn. So I ask that the community gives me their vote of confidence. This is not a stepping stone for me. This is what I want to do. I've served this community as a state trooper. I served this community as a school teacher at my alma mater, Willow Ridge, where I taught English and English as a second language. And I want to be able to serve as Justice of the Peace for that same community, to do some reform to truancy, that we can use some diversionary methods to accommodate our children instead of marking them with the issues of truancy, with offenses that are associated with that. I appreciate your time. I appreciate Delta Sigma Theta. I'm a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
Mr. Garner, I'm sorry to interrupt you. That is your time. Tell us where we can find more information.
You can contact me, garnerforjustice.com or at garnerforjustice for Instagram and Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have, also running for Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, is Judge Mark Gibson.
Thank you. I'm Judge Gibson, and I want to thank you to the NAACP and also the distinguished ladies of Delta Sigma Theta for this opportunity. As you're probably aware, I was appointed by Commissioner Presage and approved unanimously by the Commissioner's Court to become the Justice of Peace, replacing retired Judge Clauser, who served 28.5 years on the bench. And actually, I've been JP since July 1 when I was sworn in. Just a few things about, I do want to distinguish, who Judge Gibson is and, versus my opponent, and just simply so, I'm the most qualified person engaged in this race and also bring the integrity and honesty to the bench. But also, I think what's important is if you want to know more about me, you can just look at, who I am and where I came from. But I'm a 30-year Army veteran, retired colonel, a Legion of Merit award, corporate and legal experience, small business owner, product of the foster care system since I was a toddler, family man, 3 great young kids. Was married just 1 month short of 20 years to, we lost my late wife to cancer, and mother my 3 young people. Licensed attorney, a member of the bar, a member of Kappa Psi as well. Also a member of Houston Alumni, and also a member of the national chapter as well.
183rd District, 1.
You're muted, Judge.
Wow. Not sure how that happened. Anyway, 3 things that are important to me is get in front of our young people, let them know about this court process. A lot of young people do not understand this. It's also get in front of all the other people so they understand this debt claim process. The truancy matter is that we're not trying to, it's already come back to the court, but we're not trying to, I'm trying to reduce truancy, eliminate it altogether. And then also bring judicial fairness, which we already have in the court, so people understand this is a people's court. So appreciate the support from all the people from Precinct 2. You look forward to continue serving them. Appreciate their vote. I'll be on the ballot. Just want to thank you for this opportunity. But more importantly, to all the people of Precinct 2, thank you for your support. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have remarks for candidate running for Justice of the Peace Precinct 3, Sonia Rash.
There, I'm Sonia Rash, and I'm running for your Justice of the Peace Precinct 3. I've been a practicing lawyer for nearly about 20 years now. I do civil, criminal, and family work all over Texas. And I'm also licensed both in state court and federal court. I have a bachelor's in political science from Our Lady of the Lake University. I have a master's in economics from St. Mary's, and I have my law degree from Texas Southern University. So I say this so you know that I've got the experience for this position, but more importantly, I'm heavily involved in our communities. I've been involved before elections, during elections, and I'll be there after elections. I'm the vice president of our LULAC chapter 2911 here in Fort Bend. I'm also the NAACP third vice president here in Fort Bend. And I'm on the board of an organization called SMILE, which is a mentoring program for young men to have positive male role models in life. I've been in the community working hard, and I'll continue to work hard when I'm on the bench. I believe in putting people over politics and doing what is fair and right for everyone. When I get on that bench, some of the things I want to implement is convenient video hearings, night court for working families, internships for our high school and college students, and community outreach programs like legal aid for our self-representing citizens. I'm Sonia Rash, and I'm running for your Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3. Remember me, I'm the only Rash you'll ever want.
Thank you, Ms. Rash. Next, we have running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, Hussein Hadi.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Thank you to Delta Sigma Theta and the NAACP for hosting this amazing event. Thank you for everyone for your patience. I hope to all the voters out there, you have the same patience and you vote all the way down the ballot. As you can see, I'm not only am I at the bottom of the ballot, close to it, but I'm third on the list when it comes to my position for Justice of the Peace in Precinct 3. I was born and raised in Alif, and I grew up in the Sugar Land community. My parents came here from Iran in the 70s. They were kicked out of college when the Iranian-American protests came about in the 70s, and the only school that allowed them in was TSU. So when I applied to law school, I only applied to Thurgood Marshall School of Law, and I still go back anytime asked, and I speak to classes or I judge mock trials and give advice to students who have client representation competitions. I've been practicing for about 13 years now. I've served over 4,000 families. Like many of the judges here that were speaking, I am board certified in personal injury civil trial law. I've tried over 55 cases to verdict, licensed in every federal court, including the Supreme Court of the United States and the Fifth Circuit, which I had a hearing this week, actually, in the Fifth Circuit in New Orleans. I've tried cases in JP court, county court, state court, and also federal court. And as a young kid growing up in Alif, I spent a lot of time in JP courts. I've had my troubles in the law, and that's why I feel I can definitely relate and bring compassion to the JP courts when it comes to students who might find themselves stuck in a situation where they're trying to be put through the school to prison pipeline. That could have been me, but I learned from my mistakes and I grew stronger. And I've devoted my life to fighting for those who don't have a voice when they're hurt, when they're injured, for kids, for adults, grandparents, and for families who have been faced with losing a loved one when involved in a motor vehicle accident or other injuries. I've handled civil rights cases, wrongful termination, discrimination, and hostile work environment cases. When I become judge, hopefully, I want to bring transparency, live hearings like the Supreme Court of Texas, compassion and efficiency. Please feel free to visit hadiforjudge.com, and feel free to call me 713-568-8952. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Hadi. Now we're going to circle back and hit in ballot order the candidates that are now on that did not get an opportunity. First is Judge Mike Engelhardt.
Good evening, my friends. My name is Brian Michelle, and I'm here on behalf of the Honorable Judge Mike Engelhardt. And I wanted to say, first off, thank you so much to the extraordinary ladies of Delta Sigma Theta and the Missouri branch of the NAACP for hosting this fantastic event. It's wonderful to be out here talking on behalf of Judge Mike Engelhardt. He has served Harris County in the 151st Civil District Court for over 13 years. And now he's ready to take that talent to the First Court of Appeals, Place 4. So we're asking for your support. And, you know, early voting is right around the corner. It starts on Valentine's Day. So we're telling everybody, remember, an Engelhardt on Valentine's Day. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Judge Mike Engelhardt. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and it's been a pleasure. And please go online to judgeengelhardt.com to find out more about Judge Engelhardt. And thank y'all so much. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have running for county judge is Farrell Bonner. With the time we have remaining, we only want to hear from candidates, so no surrogates on. So if Mr. Bonner is on and available, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, everyone. Am I muted? Can you hear me? Okay. Good evening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta and to the wonderful chapter of Mo City NAACP. My name is Farrell Bonner. I'm going to be your next Fort Bend County judge. I've been a resident of Fort Bend County for 18 years. In most of those 18 years, I've been involved in grassroots community service. I served at every level of the Democratic Party, whether it be poll watcher, running polls, precinct chairs, secretary of the Fort Bend County Democratic Party, your state Democratic Executive Committee man, which means I help run the state Democratic Party, which supports both Fort Bend County and Harris County. I'm a retired military intelligence analyst, Gulf War veteran, and I have a background in military intelligence, emergency response, disaster response, cybersecurity, also physical security, which means taking care of people, places, and things. I run a Fort Bend County judge because I think my background, that I'm the better candidate. I have a bachelor's degree in political science and I have a master's degree in public administration from the great Texas Southern University. In this county, we need a leader, someone with courage, integrity, and to lead this county. I've been in this county 18 years, and I know that this county needs someone who can run it and can unite it. Basically, I've been in every part of this county, and what I'm hearing from the citizens in this county, they want somebody who can lead them, somebody who's not partisan, somebody who's not polarizing, and somebody who can meet them where they are. That's one of my hashtags, meeting you where you are. I've been to every part of this county and talked to every citizen, and I'm comfortable where I am. We talk about this county being a multicultural, multi-ethnic county. That is so true. However, we're still not united. We're still fractured. And I want to be the person to lead you into the future. The dynamics is changing demographically, the dynamics is changing generationally, and we need somebody that everyone can get along with. And I would tell you this, as I go through the county, talk to all 18 mayors and talking to county commissioners, we get along fairly well. I also have relationships with 253 other counties in this state. I think I'm the only candidate here that has that background and that can help this county and be a resource to that. So I'm very proud of what I've done. I need your support and ask for your vote. You can find more information about me at www.farrell4FORFTBend.com, farrell4FortBend.com. So again, if you have any questions for me, I'll stand by for those questions. But again, I'm excited about it. The future is very bright, and very strong, and I ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bonner. Next, we have the candidates for County Treasurer. First is Kassar Imam.
Good evening. Thank you so much again. Good evening. Thank you so much again, Delta Sigma Theta and the NAACP chapter of Missouri City. My name is Kassar. I go by Q, and I am proud to say that I'm a longtime Democrat that has worked for over years for a stronger and united Fort Bend County. I've taken pride in making sure that I've been out in the community, building coalitions, building the unity, because Fort Bend is strong when we stay together. I've running for treasurer because of both my professional experience and experience in the community. I have 28 years of professional experience with Price Waterhouse and IBM Global Business Services, where I specifically focused in not only consulting for both public utilities and telecommunications, healthcare sectors, but also focus on risk management, which as a treasurer of our county is a very critical attribute that one has to have. A lot of people get confused, and for people who may be watching this or tonight or later on, treasurer is the custodian of our county money. It is sort of the banker. The treasurer doesn't decide where the money comes from and where it gets spent, but the treasurer does make sure that the money is managed properly, liquidity, risk, and everything that has been set by the regulatory and state and county policy is followed. So somebody with a professional experience is extremely important. I also believe that with the county outreach that I have, we should be able to help our small businesses increase financial literacy and use technology to improve efficiencies in this office to help our taxpayers. Thank you so much again for your time. I'm Q Imam, and you can find more information at qfortreasurer.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Q Imam. Also running for County Treasurer is Albert Tibbs. Mr. Tibbs, are you on?
Yes. Good evening. Thank you to the esteemed ladies of Delta Sigma Theta and the astounding leadership of the NAACP-Missouri City Chapter and Vicinity. I'm Albert Tibbs, candidate for Fort Bend County Treasurer. I've lived in Fort Bend County for 24 years, married for 38 years, and I'm father of 5 children. I'm experienced and educated in administration. I've served as city administrator. I've served as a city activist And in that position, I led the development by casting vision and administrating that vision for the growth of East Fort Bend County. I've served as a pastor and evangelist for over 43 years. I'm also experienced as a business owner. I own a real estate investment firm, as well as a real estate, residential and commercial entity brokerage. I am experienced as a chair board of nonprofits and educational institutions. I've served in this county in the position of adjunct professor, as well as a voter deputy registrar, as well as a published author, and have committed lifelong commitment to these things, informing, equipping, and supporting people. That is, providing growth for all in the Fort Bend County. I have a vision for this county, a vision where the Treasury Department is responsible for the economic growth of the county. I believe economics means investing in people. The people are the interest and investment of the county. I will bring to this county the vision, managed and maximized, to bring an entrepreneur incubator accelerator program to the county. This provides job growth for those who are unemployed. It provides development of development. I want to be your candidate. I want to be your choice to manage, to lead, and invest this county forward. You can find me and see more information on Albert Tibbs for treasurer.com, or you can call me directly at 713-923-7903. Number 2 on your ballot, vote Albert Tibbs. I want to be your choice for Fort Bend County Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Tibbs. And finally, candidate for chair of the Democratic Party, your current chair, Cynthia Ginyard.
Okay, a good evening to everyone. Can you hear me out there, Sarah? All right, good evening, everybody. Missouri City, NAACP, and to my Sarahs and all of our friends who are participating. I'm running for re-election, and this will be my 4th election. I was first elected 2016, and I won at 65%. And I haven't won any less than that since. 2017, we opened a permanent headquarters in which we still maintain. And guess what? In 2018, we turned blue. We turned light blue. And the naysayers said they wouldn't hold it. It was a fluke. And guess what? We turned royal blue in 2020. So I am proud of the work that we've done. It did not come by osmosis. It came through execution. It didn't come through cameras and fashion shows. It came through the grind. When we turned blue, I had to go away from every authority who told us what we needed to do. I said, no, that is not the way to win. When I came in, I wanted financial transparency, open communication, inclusion, and leadership that was bold and shared. And guess what? We got it. And I look forward to us continuing our success in Fort Bend County. Many are replicating what we do, and Fort Bend has made its way on the map of Texas, and we're very, very proud. Thank you so much, and thank you for believing in me and following the vision.
Thank you, Ms. Ginyard. And thank you to all the candidates who participated in tonight's forum. As the saying goes, knowledge is power. And now that we know more about you, we are empowered to use our vote meaningfully and intelligently. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your moderator. I'll turn it over now to Demetria Williams.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson, for being a great moderator, and thank you to all the candidates that did come out tonight to speak. I would like to reiterate that Delta Sigma Theta Sorority is a nonpartisan organization, and we do not endorse any candidates. However, we do encourage all of you to go out and vote. We do have one brief announcement regarding voting that will be presented by member of the Social Action Committee, Crystal Jones.
Good evening, everyone.
Now that you've heard all of our candidates speak tonight, we want to make sure that we provide you with all of the necessary, important, and coming dates, as well as resources to ensure that everyone takes this information and goes out and votes. And also take a look at the sample ballot and make sure that you further research each candidate. Early voting begins February the 14th through the 25th of 2022. And then the primary election day is going to be March 1st of 2022. The last date to apply for a ballot by mail is February the 18th. So you want to make sure you know what's on your ballot, research and print your ballot. You can find it online at www.vote411.org. And also election protection, you can call 1-866-OUR-VOTE. It's a hotline to report any voter suppression activities. And you can also find further information as well on votetexas.gov.
Thank you for those announcements, Ms. Jones. Now I would like to bring to the virtual floor President Jackie Smith, the president of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Suburban Houston Fort Bend Alumni Chapter, to close us out on this evening.
Good evening, everybody. And I want to, first of all, thank all the candidates that joined us this evening. What a blessing. One of the general feelings that I got from all of you all is that you care about the people. And that's what's most important. We are excited. I've taken notes on every one of you, and now I can put your faces to all these signs I see all over the city. But I just want to commend you for having the heart to help and make this Fort Bend County a better place, Texas a better place, to keep encouraging us to get out and vote. I want to especially thank Social Action Committee, Judge Glover, Judge Adams, and everyone on the Social Action Committee of our sorority. Thank you all so much. We are educated, we are watching, we are dependent on you to make this a better place for all of us. And so we wish you blessings as you go about, and good luck on your run for your positions. And as long as you want to do it to help other people, you've already won. And now I turn it back over to Judge Glover.
Thank you all. Good night.